Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, got an assortment of lightweight blades here today, huh? This is going to be the battle of the lightweights today. We're going to find out what's the lightest big blade to carry. Big blade, I'm calling anything over 5 inches. This is my mini Tough Light, or my little Tough Light. So actually a large Tough Light, what they call it. And I'm just going to do the unboxing today. We got an unboxing also. The unboxing is the unboxing of the newest lightweight competitor from Cold Steel. Here we go. This item is coming to me from the Knife Center. Knife Center. Nice job of boxing. All right, here we go. Boom, there it is. Bam! Frenzy 3. The black and white Frenzy 3. Here we go. Let's see what it looks like. I've been waiting a long time for this one. Had it on pre-order. Oh, no spare pocket clip because pocket clips used on both sides. Whoa. Blade's perfectly centered. This is more gray than it is black. I thought it was going to be blacker. I was going to dye this one, but maybe I'll leave it like this. I sort of like it like this. I'm checking to see what this backspacer is. Backspacer's aluminum. It's 6060 aluminum. And the way I can tell is that you take something that you know that has a Grivery backspacer, like let's say this Voyager for instance, put it against your lip, your lower lip, and it'll feel warm, not cold, but it'll feel muke warm or so. And you take a one that might have aluminum backspacer. I know that has aluminum backspacer. Let's say like this holdout, and it feels cold. Steel will feel cold against your lower lip. This feels cold, so I'm pretty sure this is a 6061 aluminum backspacer. People have been wondering if this is the reason why I'm bringing that up is people have been wondering if this is G10 or not. And it feels like it's probably, that is a beautiful blade. You know what? That looks thicker than 3.5 millimeters. This is 4 millimeters. I'm gonna let you get this side. I don't think that's 3.5 millimeters. I think it's thicker. Compared to one that I know is 3.8 millimeters. I know it's a little bit thinner than 3.8, but I think it's a little bit thicker than 3.5 too. It's a fairly thick blade. Blade stock. Absolutely love it. So this is gray, it's not white. In the pictures it looks white. I like the gray and the black. I would definitely call this gray. It's not white and black, it's gray and black. Like a true gray. I think I might leave it that color. I'm starting to like this color. Because I was going to dye it black, completely black. Because all my knives that I carry are all black handled ones. And I tend to prefer to like the black handle better. But this looks nice. This will look nice when I polish the spine in the... Because I'm going to polish the spine of the blade and of the lock bar. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it like this, because I sort of like it just the way it is. Not decided. I'm liking this knife just the way it is, straight out the bat. Yeah, the blade does have a little curve. It's not a true Warren Cliff blade. It's not perfectly flat. It's almost flat though, but not perfectly flat. I'm digging it. You know what? The frenzy sort of fits the handle style too, with the handle is colored, because the coloring on the way that the G10's layered with black and gray, it does look kind of frenzied out. So the name frenzy sort of fits the name of the handle and the blade. I really like this one. All right, let's get down to business. This is the newest lightweight competitor. All right, and the reason why I got all these are all the ones that are the lightweight cold steel big blades. The lightest ones are the old cold steel big blades, and I brought those out too to compare them. Let's get busy. Let's start comparing things. First up, first competitor, cold steel Voyager. Clip point blade, flat ground clip point blade. This is an Oz 8 version. Basically the same thing as the CTS BD1, just different steel. It weighs in at 7.4 ounces. 7.4 ounces. Remember that, 7.4 ounces. The reason why I don't have the I didn't bring out my Tonto version because it's 8 ounces. Things that are 8 ounces or higher aren't qualified to be in this group. You have to be under 8 ounces. Next one up, the Vaquero, full flat ground Vaquero blade. 7.4 ounces, 7.4 ounces. As you know, the Tonto version of this weighs 8 ounces. Next one up, Tylite 6. The Tylite 6, the infamous Tylite 6, Zytel versions. It has stainless steel liners, Grivery backspacer, Zytel handle scales. Or actually it's probably a Zytel backspacer too. Oz 8 blade, Oz 8 stainless steel blade, 6-inch blade. These two are 5.5-inch blades, the Voyagers, and it weighs in at 7.3 ounces, just slightly lighter than the Voyagers. 7.3 ounces. These are Triad. This is a liner lock. Next up, the newest addition to the Cold Steel Tylite Lightweight series, and it is the lightest of them all. The Tylite 6 G10 model. CTS-XHP steel, DLC coated. Only has one stainless steel liner. And it has a G10 backspacer, G10 grip handle scales. It weighs in at 7.0 ounces. 7 ounces even. Lighter than the older version. And just for purposes of showing you what the heaviest tie light weighs, we got the 7075 aluminum handled tie light 6 with EDP plating on the blade. Has an Oz 8 blade, stainless steel liners. They're EDP coated also. Here we go. 9.2 ounces. That's the reason why it's not on the table. 9.2 ounces. All right, here we go. The biggest one and one of the lightest ones. The original Voyager X2, or extra large. X2. Vaquero Grande. That's what they called it, a Vaquero Grande. It weighs in at 6.0 ounces. 6.0 even. Whoa, lightweight. You got a 6-inch blade, Vaquero blade, and a 7-inch handle. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, 13 inches. You got 6 inches of blade and 7 inches of handle. Vaquero Grande, serrated. This one's Oz 8, I believe. It doesn't say VG1 on it, so I'm assuming it's Oz 8. Usually the VG1 blades, the old ones, they say VG1. I've had this for a long time. I bought it after they were out of production from another collector during the early 2000s. Excellent mint condition. 6 ounces. 6 ounces. Okay, here we go. Another one I bought brand new from an online store when they were going out of production, and they were getting replaced by these, the new Voyagers. This is the Voyager Vaquero. It has a 5-inch blade. 5-inch blade, 11 inches overall. 5-inch blade, 6-inch handle. Vaquero, serrated Vaquero. This is a VG1. Yep, VG1. Let's see what it weighs. Weighs in at 4.8 ounces for 11-inch knife. 5-inch blade, 4.8 ounces. It's slightly smaller than our newest competitor. Half an inch smaller in blade length. This is another VG1. VG1 Voyager, clip point blade. Okay, let's see what this weighs in at. .2 ounces. 5.2 ounces. So this one goes over here. I'm trying to put them on, keep them all in order. And last but not least, another Voyager. VG1 Voyager, Tonto. These just had the previous lock type that they used to use for lockbacks. These don't have the triad lock. They were replaced by the triad lock Voyagers. And they had Zytel handles, no liners, stainless steel back lock bar, and a hollow ground blade. The clip blade and the Tonto blade had the hollow ground blades, and the Vaqueros had flat ground blades. 5.4, so that ties with the clip point. So we got from heaviest to lightest in this pack. Now for the newest guy on the block. The Frenzy. These all have 5-inch blades. This has a 6-inch blade, 6-inch blade, 6-inch blade, 6-inch blade, 5.5, 5.5. Triad locks. These are only one triad locks, and the holdout has a triad locks. So this has a triad lock too. The newest one on the block. It's beautiful. It has a 3.5 millimeter, supposedly. I think it's probably a little bit thicker than 3.5 millimeter blade stock. It looks like it has a saber ground blade. That doesn't look hollow ground to me. It looks saber ground. It has a blood groove. A Warncliffe style blade, but I don't know if you can really call this a true Warncliffe. It's got a little curve in it. It's beautiful. The tip looks fairly strong too. Usually Warncliffes have weak tips. That tip looks fairly strong. It's actually a real beautiful looking blade. And the blade grinds on it are perfect. Perfect on both sides of mine. They did an excellent job on these. Everything fits nice and flush. Nice. The inside of it's black. So I guess the first layer G10 that they use is black on the inside of the scales or the handles. I really like the black and gray though, because I wasn't I didn't really care for the way it looked when it was black and white on the pictures on the advertisements for it. But I really like this though. I like the black and gray. I don't know, I may not dye this one. I was going to dye the handle scales and polish everything all out. The spine of the blade, the lock bar in the blade, and the back spacer. The 6061 aluminum back spacer. But I don't think I will. And it has staggered screws, so that I'm definitely sure that this is aluminum back spacer, because all the aluminum backspace ones, they screw the handle scales directly to the black back spacer. That's the reason why it has to be heat treated. I really like this one. Looks like the blade's not going to ride too low though. Looks like some of the blade will be exposed on your pocket. New style clip. We'll have to see how that works. But anyway, let's get down to business. I'm getting sidetracked. The newest competitor, Triad competitor, weighs in at 5.6 ounces. 5.6 ounces. So where does that fit in? That fits in... Wow. It's as lightweight as the old timers. Without the Triad lock. Isn't that awesome? Wow. It's lighter than all of these. It's lighter than the holdouts, lighter than tie lights, the lightest tie lights. It's lighter than the Voyagers, it's lighter than the XX2. Voyager Grande, Cara Grande. The only thing that's not lighter than are the ones that have the smaller blades. These have 5-inch blades, this has a 5.5-inch blade. Let's see what the difference is. And you can compare them. Butt to butt. Not that much difference. 1/2-inch difference. Awesome. Let me make sure I'm doing this evenly though. There you can see the difference in reach. Awesome. Let's compare it to the XX2. The XX2 has a lot more reach. Looks like almost an inch more reach. Actually, it's about 1.5 inches more reach. 1.75 inches. No, 1.5 inches. I'd call it 1.5 inches reach difference. 1.5 inches reach. And this one just weighs a little bit more, not a whole lot more. Another 6-inch blade one. You'll hold out 1XL. Just a little bit under 1.5 inches reach. No, actually it's 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches difference in reach. Inch and 1/8. That's about 1 1/8 inch difference for the Tie-Lite 6 versus the new lightweight competitor. And these should be about the same. Actually, it looks like the new one is a little bit longer. It's longer by about 1/8 of an inch. So that means that the handle's longer, basically. Well, there we go. Awesome. Let's see what they all look like together. I'll unfold it. Awesome. I like this one. This is going to be one of my new favorites, I can tell already. I like the way the blade is. I like the way it's thick. All the way up to the point, sort of like the Tontos are. Has a little swedge right here. That'd probably look really nice polished. And the top piece of it might look really nice polished too, all the way up to the tip. And the lock bar polished. Might leave the black backspacer black. There's definitely aluminum backspacer. For all of you that have been wondering, I feel pretty safe in saying that this is aluminum. 6061 aluminum. It's made like all the other G10. Pretty much all the G10 handled triad lock knives that are coming from Taiwan. They're all made pretty much the same way. They're made with the G10 bolting straight up to the 6061 heat treated aluminum backspacer. That's common. I haven't seen one that hasn't been made like that. I know they're having one made in Italy. The Night Force is supposed to have a G10 backspacer, and I think that's going to be the first one that's going to be like that. But it's not made in the Taiwan factory. It's going to be made in Italy. So the company that's making for them in Italy is probably making them a little bit differently. So if you have one that has a staggered screws, I pretty much think it's safe to say that it's an aluminum backspacer. If you have one that the screws aren't staggered and they look like they screw into each other, that's usually because one is the nut and one's the bolt, and they screw into each other that way. Cold Steel has used that sort of technique before too. That's how these are. Sort of. They have like a little thing inside them that they screw into. I really love it. Need some lube though. Need some lube. I need to adjust the pivot. It feels a little bit tight to me. That's very tight. So I will be adjusting it. I love it. Can't stop looking at it, guys and gals. It's actually very beautiful looking. Trying to decide if I want to dye this black or not. As you can tell, I like the black handles. But you know what? Maybe it's time to change up and do something a little bit different too, though, huh? I bought some RIT dye. It's not here yet. Still waiting on it to get here. RIT black dye. I was going to use to dye these handle scales. I may just leave it the way it is. I'm undecided on that. Why don't you guys let me know? Comment down if you want it to be seen in black or if you want it to stay like this. What do you think would look cooler? I tend to like black because it doesn't show up in your pocket as much. But this one's going to show up in your pocket a little bit anyway because of the blade and the clip. So it has a shiny clip. And it's fairly long too, so you're going to see the clip. But I like the fuller or the blood groove. I think that looks really cool. I think this is the first one that Cold Steel's done with a fuller or blood groove for a pocket knife. I'm really digging that. It's like the finishing touch on it. It's like the craftsmanship in this one is like above and beyond like the other ones. If you could just tell compared to all the other ones I have. They really stepped up themselves. And it has an ambidextrous thumb stud. It has a really nice thumb stud on it. And the pocket clip is just switched over to the other side. You don't get two pocket clips. You just use the same pocket clip to switch it over to the other side. Very nice. Well, there it is there. That's all I got for you today. I'm gonna adjust this one and lube it up, and I might make a little short video of it later after it's been lubed and adjusted, just to let you see how it functions. Right now it's really tight. But anyway, peace out. Stiletto.